Hello, people of the internet. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and happy Thursday to you all. We are going to keep proceedings moving rather quickly because we are continuing with the STAYC drop from earlier on in the week. This dropped 3 days ago. We checked out the title track Cheeky Icy Thang I'd say about 10 minutes ago. It is now past 9 p.m. on the Thursday, and we, of course, have the rest of the album to get to. Album. Not mini. Album. In fact, 3 mini albums worth of music in this K-pop economy, because STAYC, along with High Up, have gone and released a 14-track studio-length album for STAYC's first full album. That's bonkers to me. In this day and age, in this K-pop economy, where mini albums are like 4 songs long, we have a 14-track studio-length album. That's crazy. And by the looks of things, it looks like it's pretty much 20 is a little bit short, the first track, but apart from that, it looks like it's like a 13+1 album. That's insane. So, lots of music to get through, but we are doing this in the usual album listen method. Go through this album in order. I'll read off the credits off for every single song before we get to them, and then just talk through them, give my 2 cents, rinse and repeat 13 times, and we'll finish up. So, let's get going, shall we? Here we go! Gosh, it is still so hot outside. It is 9 p.m. and it's still 29 degrees outside. Can you believe it? Oh my goodness. Summer is truly here in Japan. In terms of admin stuff, I ideally would have liked to use color-coded lyric videos for this album. There are some, but I haven't been able to find an entire album's worth of accurate lyric videos, and that's kind of been the key thing for me with albums recently, is I can't find a reliable source. So we're just going to be pulling the YouTube music version of all of these. I know there's some live stages from the showcase that High Up have put in the playlist for this, for things like, I think, One Thing and Stay With Me, Flux on My X. I think there's a few songs that have stages. We're not going to do those for copyright reasons. I'm taking copyright quite a bit more seriously, and just trying to steer clear from as much issues as possible, considering we've got one community copyright strike on the channel at the moment. I don't want to risk any more. So, without further ado, track number 1, titled 20, lyrics by Jonggun, composition Black Eyed Pilsung and BXN, with Rado on arrangement. Of course. The legendary Black Eyed Pilsung. Wow, I could not find the meter anywhere. It's a little bit dreamy though, which is really cool. Give it a little bit of firmness in that chorus. I'm pretty sure this is Sumin, but I love low vocal STAYC. It's just so satisfying to listen to. And that little digital filter, I think, I'm not the biggest fan of vocal filters usually, but I quite like how it was interwoven into 20. Got a nice firm chorus too. Like, it's a pretty groovy and chill song instrumentally, but once we get to that chorus, the vocals really do kind of throw it into to it in the higher gear. It's really cool. That's a good way to start an album. It's very open-ended. You know that this isn't the title track. And I mean, it's not like the title track has to be track number 1 in an album anymore. But 20, like, it's long enough to be a shorter full-length song, but it's too long to be an intro, because it's got 2 full verses and choruses, right? It just doesn't have the bridge and the final chorus. But it's slightly mysterious in that it doesn't really tell you what the style of the album is going to be. But standalone as this song, the groove is really nice. It's nice and chill, but it's not that late night slow and chill, or that low and chill. It's got power to it. It's got punch to it. The vocals bring the power to the table, though, especially that chorus. When that chorus comes around, those vocals will just pierce through the groovy chillness. And you really feel it, and that's really neat. And I mentioned this in the title track, but the fact that STAYC essentially have an interchangeable rap and vocal line for whatever song they need as like a different rap and vocal line for, it's really cool to get a song like 20 where even vocal alone, you can kind of pick and choose who goes where, and the song still flows like a normal song. And the fact that it just feels so STAYC whenever something like this happens, because like when it comes to certain groups, you can kind of piece together who's gonna sing where, but with STAYC, that's not the case, and it's not a pattern thing either, because they frequently change up who goes where and in what order, and I love them for it. But, oh, that's a really cool way to start, though. Right, track number 2 is the title track, Cheeky Icy Thang. We're not going to listen to it for time constraints. Also, we've spent time on it in MV form, but I'll read off the credits real quickly. Lyrics by Black Eyed Pilsung, Ilson, On2, Pop, Jong Hari of 153 Jumbas, Jong Na Kyung of 153 Jumbas, and Jiggy of 153 Jumbas. Composition, Black Eyed Pilsung and Flight, Radel and Flight on arrangements, which takes us to track number 3, One Thing, stylized with the number 1. Lyrics by Jonggun, composition Black Eyed Pilsung and Flight with Radel and Flight on arrangements. I'm just waiting for only one we're getting started right away. Only one thing, 다른 건 안 원해. I'm just waiting for only one thing. Only one thing, 많은 건 안 원해. 어떻게 처음부터 recognize real. 솔직하게 난 그게 잘
The synths are putting in work this album, or this era, aren't they?
Even if it's GPT, na 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 na. It's a happy thing. 이런저런 ABC. 고민 생각들로 머릿속은 내 busy. 1 million no. 1 in a billion so, bruh. 욕심이 생겨 점점 더. Giddy up, hurry up. 조금 뻔해도 rom-com.
Oh, we're really leaning into this kind of video gamey digital synth work, aren't we?
So I guess on this album, we have kind of gone 2 for 2 in this kind of side-to-side hopping type vibe, haven't we? Because Cheeky Icy Thang also had a kind of this side-to-side vibe. Cheeky harmonies. The defibrillator, like, charging up sound is an interesting choice. I'm not quite sure how I feel about those yet, but this pre-chorus synth stuff, top tier. The interesting thing about One Thing is that even though it's got a pretty busy synth line in the background, it's still letting the vocals shine through, and the vocals very much feel front and center to me, even though it's busy in the background.
thing.
Hello, vocal chops.
I'm just waiting for only one thing. Only one thing 언제라도. I'm just waiting for only one thing.
기다리고 있지 언제라도.
Okay, now we're really going into the interesting and quirky, aren't we? It's Cheeky Icy Thang, I mentioned as it being kind of that quirkiness that we haven't seen in a hot minute from STAYC. We've gotten a lot of cutesy title tracks recently. And one thing very much feels like a continuation of Cheeky Icy Thang in that it's got that playfulness to it. It's got that quirkiness to it. And that side-to-side kind of bounce is really neat. It's quite charming. And one of those types of songs where I mean, at this point, I don't know what this is going to, like, if this is going to sit in my brain or not, but if it pops up on shuffle, I'm definitely going to be walking around town doing this. Just doo-doo, doo-doo, doo-doo. It just has that kind of vibe to it. It makes me want to have, like, a physiological reaction to it by joining along with my fingertips. Just, you know, I find stuff like that very neat. Compositionally, though, yeah, it's a very surprising one in that it's still vocally very prominent for as prominent of a synth part as this song has. It doesn't cover the vocals at all. Especially when you get the chest defibrillator charging sound effect that gets thrown in every measure or two. That's a very sharp tone that very much takes over the higher frequency listening portion of your ears. And yet, it still doesn't really mask the vocals or cover the vocals in any way. It just is a thing that happens in the background of the song, which I still don't know where I sit on the fence. Or I still sit on the fence about that. But the vocal part is there. STAYC vocals has always been very prominent, but even with everything going on, it's still front and center. That's very smart. I feel like that's very hard to do, but it's very well done. Moving on, track on number 4, Give It To Me, stylized with the number 2 this time. So it looks like we've got a kind of numbers thing going on back to back. Lyrics, Jonggun. Composition, Black Eyed Pilsen and Flight, with Rado and Flight on arrangement. So exactly the same credits list as One Thing.
STAYC.
Telling you I like the feel. 벗어났지 from the feeling.
Get a little hippity hoppity with it.
전물가보다 don't ever need you no more. No, it's not a disrespect. 사실인 걸 어떡해.
And we're definitely pushing the auto-tune a little bit further now. They're not shying away from it, are they? Love that the sustained notes get some nice harmonies.
I keep thinking like 너무한 건 날까 혼자 속으로 괴로워해 이제 그만 좀 해보려 해 You take it for granted always 내 책임을 피하고 내 또 언제나 네 뜻대로 해 Who wants to be your side Nobody's there Sunshine on me now 더 밝은 spring
There's an interesting dynamic going with this song. It's got the instrumental has that acoustic guitar portion, but the vocals are so digital. And I know the guitar is probably not a real guitar, it's just a synthesizer doing it, or a computer doing it. But I think that contrast is really neat, because it's usually the other way around. It's usually digital instrumentals and acoustic vocals, but it's the other way around.
Leave you alone.
I believe this is record again.
텅텅 빈 속에 혼자 무슨 말을 해도 나는 들리지도 않아 너의 성공 그를 바라긴 해 하지만 결코 그리 쉽지는 않았으면 pressure 하나는 있지
I love how relaxed the flow is.
거지 내가 제일 소중하단 걸
Reminds me of Big Naughty's flow a little bit, like that super chill, super relaxed vibe. Oh, that's neat. That's really neat. And also, like, I don't know if they're supposed to be like this, but Give It To Me and One Thing very much feels like the counter to each other essentially. One Thing, very I don't want to call them natural sounding vocals, but very like vocal heavy. Vocals are meant to be the showcase piece with the very busy digital instrumentation in the background. This time, it's that very busy instrumentation, very almost acoustic bass. Again, it's probably not an actual acoustic instrument. It's probably a synthesizer or a sample that, or a sound sample that they're doing through the computer with very digital vocals that don't feel like the vocals are supposed to be like big front and center moments all the time. I have a love-hate relationship with autotune, and that's throwing me off of Give It To Me a little bit. I don't mind autotune. I think autotune can be done very tastefully in certain songs. But for me, when it comes to STAYC, one of their selling points for me is that really good vocal part. And I feel like when we get autotune at that magnitude and at that kind of frequency, it kind of takes away from the STAYC magic, so to speak. And I mean, I don't mind the song all that much. It's kind of taken away some of my joy about this group and put it through the computer, and I want it back, you know what I mean? I would have loved to hear what this song would have sounded like with natural vocals. I think I would have really enjoyed it. But I don't know, it just feels like there's too much digital vocal work on it for me on this one. This is okay. I can't like every single song in the world, and considering there's probably 10 more songs on this album, there's probably going to be some that I like more than others. So, hey ho, what? That's just how subjective musical analysis works sometimes. So, I'm not going to lose too much sleep over it. That's a shame though, because I was liking where it was going to an extent. Rightio, next up, track number 5, titled Find. Oh, it's a unit song. Xiun, Seun, and Jay. Very cool. Lyrics by B and Naz for 153 Junebus, Jong Na Kyung of 153 Junebus, Shin Sa Kang of XYXX, and Yoon Yerim of Jam Factory. That is actually quite a team. I wish I had lyric videos for it. Composition, Junhyuk and RNA Karimi with Junhyuk on arrangement. RNA Karimi is a name that looks familiar to me. Lots of reverb, but we're definitely going acoustic guitar element though. Oh, it's double time. Hold on a second. We're moving. Genuinely amazed at how fast-paced this song is. It's like, now that we've gotten to the chorus, it feels even faster than the verses, even though it hasn't changed tempo-wise. All the vocals. This amount of digital vocal work I'm okay with. feel like we got Jay in a really interesting range vocally in that second verse. It's like not too low where she has that like bassy voice, but not high enough to where she's loading a whole lot of like power and treble into it. It's that husky kind of middle tone. But that's quite an interesting song. There's a lot going on. It's a very busy song, both in pace and in just the music in general. First of all, starting it with that kind of acoustic guitar element is really neat, but then ramping it double time once the beat kicks in and once the proper verse starts is really cool because it's fast and it's a almost misleading fast song in a way because you don't really feel the speed, and once you do, it feels like you reach that next step of that fastness, so to speak. Like, okay, the song started. Oh, it's double time. Okay, the verses, we're cooking a little bit. And then by the time it's like your body really sinks into that fast beat, the chorus comes around. Then it even though it hasn't changed, it still feels faster than the verse. It's like, oh, we're really going now. And the song just goes and goes and goes. And it doesn't really feel like it's ever going to slow down. And that's really neat because usually when a song goes fast and continues to go fast, it can sometimes feel like it's running away from you. And while it did feel quite fast at certain points, it never felt like it was like out of my reach running away from me. And I think that's a very nice balance. Yeah. Like going back a song to Give It To Me, we had Jay with a noticeable digital vocal part in verse 2 in her rap section. And I think it partly has to do with the fact that, STAYC have done an auto-tune rap section before, especially with Jay at the helm. And maybe it's kind of me getting used to it in a way, but in this application, it just doesn't feel as intrusive as it did with Give It To Me, which is such an interesting thing, because I think on paper, it really isn't that different. But also, very cool that we have unit songs. I hadn't like screen the credits list or anything like that, nor had I seen the track list for this album. So I'm glad that we got a little surprise like this, because I feel like you find kind of untapped potential when it comes to unit songs within your own group. Like even in a group that a 6-member group isn't big, but it isn't small either. It's that kind of right in the middle range, and yet we're still finding little combinations. And there's more combinations to choose from, right? Like we have 3 here, and that means we have the other 3 somewhere else. We can go maybe pairs, and we get even more combinations. We get a different combination of 3 members to make different units, and that's just like, potential down the road and stuff. But the fact that they're doing unit stuff now makes me excited for the future. Right, track at number 6, Let Me Know. Lyrics by Jong-gun. Composition Black Eyed Pills on Flight and Will Be with Rado and Flight on arrangement. I have noticed most of the songs are sub 3 minutes, which is I'm not going to complain too much about. The fact we're getting 14 songs makes up for the fact that some of the songs are a little short. Are always misleading because it isn't revealing its entire hand yet. What is this chorus going to be like? But whatever we're getting here, I'm already on board with. Enhance the bottom end and the high end. Cool. Oh, we don't get it again. Okay, that's fine. We do get a little bit more digital vocal work going on. I wonder if that's gonna be a thing for STAYC music. 'Cause I feel like it wasn't this prominent before. But the fact that we've gotten it for what, 3-4 songs already, it feels pretty high. It's not as obvious as Give It To Me, but it is noticeable still. This release for the chorus though, it's nice. It enhances the top end with the kind of bottle hitting percussion part. The bass is more prominent. And interestingly, the middle part of the song is kind of pushed to the back. Because the middle is more prominent here. I mean, like, because there's no top and bottom now. Nice little pause if you believe it. Okay, that's my B-side of the album so far. Let me know is it's really easy to listen to. It's not a fast song. It's not slow either. But it's got a really nice pop to it. It's got a really nice release. I think the melody is quite nice to listen to. It's nothing too complex. There's nothing that just like screams for attention. It's one of those songs that you just press play and you let it go, and that's all you need to do. It's an easy, enjoyable song. And on a song that is honestly quite complex up until this point. Like, I mean, to be fair, Let Me Know is still a decently complex song, all things considered. But it feels like a palate cleanser in a way, which is not what I expected to say on this song, but it feels like a very neutral song to me. And for an album that is as long as this album is, I think you need a couple of those songs where it just kind of mentally resets you a little bit. Because there isn't like any big sudden surprises. I mean, there's a little stutter step before the final chorus, but apart from that, there isn't really anything hidden away meant to surprise you, meant to jump scare you. There isn't like any sudden style switches or any flow switches. The song just kind of goes, and I can vibes with that. I can vibes with that heavy. I think the mixing balancing is really interesting because the chorus, you add more in the higher frequency and the lower frequency, but you muffle out the middle bit. But throughout the verses, you don't have a whole lot of highs and lows, and you have a lot in the mids. I think that's super cool. It's little production details like that that really kind of get my musical ear tickling, but... Nope, not yet. Oh, nada, no. Track in number 7. This, I think, marks the halfway point. Might actually be one more song for the halfway point, but track number 7, titled Nada, lyrics by 4 of La La Studio and Pikmin of Artifact. With composition by Jihara, PK... Wow, what a name! Hold on a second. PK... Deju... My goodness! Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up on the main screen. What? That is I don't even know how to pronounce that last name. We're gonna refer to you as PK. I apologize dearly for not being able to pronounce your name, but I don't want to chance it in case of absolutely butchering your name and embarrassing myself. So, composition by PK, Trisha Batani and Kirsten Collins, with PK on arrangement. My goodness, we've come across some complex producer names. This one takes the cake. Very cool last name, though. Oh.
No, I don't think so. Bye.
First time, hot like summer. 운명 같던 me and you. Cupid one shot, 꽃인 my girl. It's the wonder, yeah, just you. 완벽했던 first page, 달던 첫 date. 근데 what's next? 너무 쉽게 웃어진 love spell. 재미없게.
Getting the bass in completely changed how I was feeling about the songs. I thought we were gonna go with something quirky again. The 808 changes.
You were my own savior, a leader
It's extremely smooth though.
Dancing dirty, always my birthday. Ready goody, 멍만 마시게 be the boss. I make the winning sauce cautious. 마지막에 결국 남이 되는 걸 다시.
Who was that in the reference? Was that Sumin on the reference there? Either way, even when the reference comes in, it flows smooth.
I know wel던 그날 없었던 반전 다른 듯해도 결국 같은 끝인 걸.
It just kind of flows so nice.
You were my own savior.
It's almost velvety smooth.
그랬던 지금도 break my heart. I let it eat up, yeah. When it's hard.
And it has me very intrigued because a song of this nature kind of, starts to kind of slow down, bring the energy level down, kind of slow things down a little bit, which is usually the signal of the album finishing. But this is the halfway point of the album. Yeah, even the runs and stuff have a different kind of sauciness to them.
You are my own savior, a little star. 그랬던 지금도 break my heart. I'm
Little
letting
two-man
it
high flyer there.
when it's hard. 그래도 똑같아. Guess what I'm gonna say? 재밌었지만 그게 다른 사랑은 있어 feel like tether. 그저 흔한 소리.
And the way this kind of chorus happens too.
재밌었지만 그게
It happens in waves, it happens in stages, and every time it happens, it just kind of blossoms a little bit. Oh, that's kind of neat. Compositionally, Nada might be, for me, the most interesting. It does a lot of kind of placement details and little vocal details that really kind of make the song just spruces it up a little bit. And it's a very subtle way of making like a big change. Like, on paper, it's really not doing a whole lot, but the final product, the end product of it, there's a very dominant difference, and mainly in that chorus when they kind of, it's like a slalom on a ski course. If you watch downhill slalom, you just go back and forth between the gates, and immediately it's not as intense as downhill slalom like Suji or anything like that. And it has this back and forth feeling to it, especially in the vocal part when you go and nada nada, and it just kind of rolls back and forth on itself. And every time it rolls, there's like an element that grows, and it steps up and grows in stages. But the overall feeling after we're done with that kind of increase is a very gradual boom. What's the best way to describe this? I'm an architecture major, so I can describe it in CAD terms, but none of you will get that unless you went through the hell that is architecture school with me. But that chorus, vocally, it steps up in increments, but you don't feel the sharp edges of the increments, right? Imagine each step is like a staircase. Very sharp corners, boom, 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 boom. You should be able to feel those 90-degree angles, but the way they've been stacked on top of each other and the way they kind of almost fade in to an extent, all the sharp corners are really nice and rounded, and because of it, the overall effect of it feels very smooth. I think I said that right. I think I articulated that somewhat educationally. If I didn't, I try my best. Anyways, next up, another unit. Oh, it's a duet. Okay. Fakin, track number 8, lyrics by Jonggun, composition Black Eyed Pills and Flight with Rado and Flight on arrangements. So same team from One Thing and Give It To Me. I'm also seeing, if this is a duet, that means we have an Icy solo coming up, and that has me very excited.
그래 넌 faking you 나도 내 맘을 몰라 나나나나나나나나나나나
Oh, hold on a second. Wait, this has potential. Also, shout out the vocal flips one time.
You're such a rock and roll baby can't hold me down 어떤 누구도 넌 나를 나를 바꾸지 못했어 baby
I'm really liking where this is going. It feels like a very soft to the ears kind of anthem in a way. I want this release. Synth driven, hell yes. You know me, you know I love a good synth pop song. These flips are genuinely so impressive. Man. Down for verse 2.
Maybe just like money 좋아해도 you can handle it 때론 불이 내 말을 burn down 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 난 가끔 네가
Still getting all the tasteful harmonies.
널 사랑을 원하는 네 attitude boy every day
Oh, slide it up. Oh, slide up into that note one time.
근데 난 밀어내 널 사랑할까 봐 I keep on faking faking 상처받기 싫어 그래
It's not the most outlandish synth pop song in the world. It's not the most complex. There's nothing really groundbreaking about it. But everything it does right. When Sumin does it, there's no head voice flip. It's very much more direct delivery. Yoon's the one that does the flip up. Yes, post-chorus or bridge. I mean, it might be the bridge actually. Oh, it's the outro. Oh, man. As of this point right now, B-side of the album for me. It's kind of a cop-out choice because I think if anything, anything synth-poppy, it was going to get my vote. It's just how my musical preferences are. I'm sorry. I can only apologize, but choosing the synth-poppy song as my one pick so far is just such a me answer to give. But genuinely, Sumin and Yoon take this song to a place that really works for me. They've also high vocal Sumin. I feel like it's been a hot minute. Like her kind of most memorable vocal moments for me recently have been her low vocal ones. So to get an entire song that really takes advantage of the range that Sumin's able to do is really neat. Also, I'm pairing her with pairing Sumin with Yoon on a high vocal song like this is a proper choice. Because I think Yoon's got a really good kind of pop and rock oriented high vocal that she can put in some power but take away some power as well, and you can really feel it when you get to that main hook in the da 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 da. You really feel just how comfortable them two sound, and also the differing vocal styles of those two, because Yoon has the kind of more chest-oriented da-da-da-da-da-da, and then up on the high notes, she flips up into her head voice, and that switch happens so cleanly, and it's so satisfying to hear. Just there's a noticeable, like, literal flip when her voice changes. But Sumin has a more direct kind of firm delivery to it, and so she doesn't have a predominant flip or a dominant flip up into her head voice on that higher note. And to get that kind of style difference between the two is everything. It's the little details for me that really sell the song. The synth work, it's not a busy synthesizer part. It's not a terribly exciting synthesizer part. There's no huge runs or solos or anything like that. But it doesn't need to be. A song doesn't need to be overly complicated to be good. And Fakin is kind of like proof of concept in a way. There isn't anything revolutionary. There isn't anything complicated. It's just a really good melody, a really good vocal line with a really good instrumental, and all of it balances perfectly. And I reckon this has a very good shot of staying at the top, unless, you know what? Unless we get a STAYC rock, like a pop rock banger, I reckon Fakin might be in good contention of taking the top crown for B-side of the album for me. You know what? In fact, I'm gonna write this one down. Hold on, Fakin. Fakin. There we go. Oh, speaking of the Icy solo, hell yeah! All right, hold on. I have to. I said that I'm gonna guess there's an Icy solo, mainly because the credits list is so long. It doesn't fit on the kind of shortened window I have on the side. So we're going to scroll down a little bit. There we go. Track number 9, Roses. Lyrics by Black Eyed Pilsen, Gua, JP, and Hansen. Black Eyed Pilsen, Gua, JP, Hansen, and Blianty on composition, with Gua, JP, Hansen, and Blianty on arrangement. I wonder what this is going to sound like. I wonder what type of vocal we're going to get from her, too. Because she can do quite a wide variety.
Sipping up all of my potions. It's probably driving you crazy. To be honest, I'm kinda emotive. Yeah, 난 좀 다를까. Pause for a minute. 느껴 본 적 없는 this feeling. Yeah, some kisses, no missing pieces. You know they're delicious. 아직도 모르겠니.
This is kind of what I expected, and not at the same time. That makes no sense.
You're gonna say, reflection, so I see. 날 봐, I feel like I'm chosen. Locked in my sight, 달콤한 맘의 switch. 모든 게 달라진 순간 I'm chosen. You know that I'll be the one. Is it weird that I want you to love
What this song,
me? Yeah.
like what Rose is essentially showcasing for me,
and maybe that's just
and
how it's
this
supposed
isn't really
to
new
be.
information, but it's like really hammering home
With roses, 피어날 glass of
how
gorgeous,
meticulous
퍼지는 my
Isa is
emotions.
vocally.
이제서야 넌 알겠니?
The accented syllables, the rhythmic division of the flow, the sharpness of the pronunciation. Even though I don't know what the words mean, I can feel the sharp consonants in her word in the words that she's singing. The meticulousness of the kind of when and where she does her little vocal fills and stuff. And when she's like changing her vocal tone and stuff. The music team for this, they picked out essentially every single part of Isa's vocals and really just enhanced them. And all of the key points that she has are on display here. That runs pretty smooth. You know what? It's not my favorite B-side on this album, but it's for me the most impressive, because essentially, like, this is a 2-minute and 40-second song, let's say. They have probably squeezed in about 5 or 6 different like Ices in here. Like, holy smokes, that's a spider. That's a big spider. Hello, spider friend. You can eat the flies in the light later. Isa has always been a very flexible artist, whether it's in the choreography or whether it's in the vocal department. But to see so many of those Isas in one place all at once, I think really just goes to show how much range she has. And, you know, we've been, like, people who have known STAYC for a while know just how much range Isa has. But when you put it in kind of this one neat little package, and you show it off all at once, it does feel very impressive. Just the sheer extent of what she can do. But yeah, for me, Roses is more of like a showcase piece for me, because showing, and part of the credit has to go to the music team because they made up a song and they put Isa in like the certain places with a certain delivery that she needed for the song to show off said vocal charms and stuff. But it feels surgically accurate. All the runs feel like they were placed there with a reason, and the runs were done in the cadence that they were done. All the accented syllables feel like they were surgically placed there rather than, like, this isn't just a song that was written on sheet paper or just put through a computer and da-da-da-da-da. This feels like a song where you go through like waveform graphs to line up where major beats go and stuff, and it's kind of crazy. It's compositionally so clean. And when it comes to Ice on the vocal part, I mean, I talked through part of the song about it, but everything just feels millimetrically, like millisecond perfect in terms of timing and rhythm cadences and accents and runs and tone and pitch, and I'm just so impressed. Damn. Right, track number 10. We are in the double digits now. 5 more to go. Beauty Bomb, lyrics by Young Chance Yua. Oh, hey! Shout out Yua one time. Oh, I feel like it's been a hot minute since I've seen her on a song credit. Hell yeah. Shout out Yua one time. Terrific artist. Also, terrific composer as well. Oh, and Good Kelvin also on lyrics. Sorry, Good Kevin. Composition Benjamin Young Chance and Yua with Benjamin on arrangements. Oh, that's made my evening. Hell yeah. I like the pacing of it.
How you doing? 거울속 내게 안녕. 꽤나 예쁜 걸 만유할 스타일 몰랐어. Still finding 뭐가 진짜인지 알듯 말듯.
It's quick, but it's got a chillness to it. Keep the vocal work too. Keep all the harmonies.
삼킨 순간 삐리리리 밤 like 뚜뚜뚜 뚜루루뚜뚜 모든 게 선명해져 뭘 원하는지 나는 마치 삐리리리 밤 like 뚜뚜뚜 뚜루루뚜뚜 너를 만난 순간 터진 내
Yeah, this is a sharp song. All the rhythm and stuff, millimetric. Actually, that doesn't make sense. Millisecond, isn't it?
솔직함은 the level up 모두 다 지겹잖아 something regular 정답은 yes or no 내가 가는
So are we pushing rapper soon a little bit more now? Because we're definitely getting more rapper soon as STAYC's discography progresses. Cheeky vocal run. It's another one that's extremely easy to listen to songs. And it's another one of those STAYC songs where it's very vocal front and center, and I approve of it so much, especially because it's a really good vocal part. Halftime from Bridge, okay. And just a natural progression into the final chorus, and no little side steps here and there. I mentioned this earlier, but I'll mention it again. I'm loving the amount of vocal harmonies we get. There's so much of it. Oh, that's a really nice song. With a title like Beauty Bomb, I was like bracing for something that was pretty in your face. Nah, it's a really nice chill groover, and I can't fault it whatsoever. I think it's terrific. It's an everyday song for me. I can like say that off of one listen. I can say that this is that everyday song that I think every album needs. A type of song where you can really listen to it in any capacity, and it doesn't really feel out of place. Like, I can listen to this on the morning commute to school, on the evening commute back from school, a trip out to the grocery store, running errands to the post office, if I'm pruning the crops that I have in the front porch because I'm growing herbs there. I could listen to it, if I wanted to. I could listen to it in the shower. I can listen to it while I'm making dinner, and I can just groove and vibe to it. And another one of the songs that I don't actually remember which song it was earlier on the album because I didn't take notes. But we had another song like this on the album where you just press play, let it run, and that's all you need to do to enjoy it. Very nice indeed. And also, plenty of vocals on display as well. And when it comes to STAYC vocals, it's going to be a fun time. So, well done, everybody involved. And a nice long song, too. Over 3 minutes. Right. Next up, Gummy Bear. We had Teddy Bear not too long ago. Now we have Gummy Bear. Track number 11, lyrics by Yu So Hee of Jam Factory, Woo Sung Myeon of 153 Jumbas, Ji Hye of Jam Factory, Shin Jin Hye of Jam Factory, my goodness, and Jung Han Bit of Jam Factory. Composition: Moa, Cassiopeia, Carl Becker, Ellen Berg, Harry Sommerdahl, Fabian Fabe Tolson, with Bangers and Cash on arrangements. Okay, based off of the composition credits, we might be in for a bit of a banger. We're definitely cranking the energy up, aren't we?
I lost my shoes lady 약속은 2pack 어쩌지 잠깐만 take it up change my clothes quickly 괜찮은 폰 maybe home party go shake it oh my god 반전 time oh
남이 볼 때 slow 비밤은 the flow
Okay, wait, hold on. It is halftime compared to what I was expecting, but I'm not gonna pass judgment yet. Hello, acoustic instruments. It switches like that. Contrast. We love contrast over here. Anthem. It's not a banger. It's an anthem. Okay.
Gummy, 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 gummy bear. I need a taste and I want some more. Child and a sugar rush. Got me saying, oh my life is so sweet. It's so yummy, yummy, yummy. Gummy, 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 gummy bear.
Okay, the progression of the song is extremely satisfying to listen to. I don't know what it is about it, but it does everything exactly where I want it to happen. And it makes listening to this super easy. It is very high. Whole body high tone there. But overall, the vocal register we're in for the majority of the song is the highest we've been in on this album. Oh, that's chromatic background harmony. Boom, boom, boom.
Got me saying, oh my life is so sweet. 항상 easy peasy 내겐 쉬운 game. Listen, mom, 네가 보낸 one piece. Gummy, 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 gummy bear. I have a place, no one some more.
Okay, so the instrumental part is gonna have that kind of stutter step in the second half of the chorus both times.
All my life is so sweet, just so yummy, yummy, yummy. My gummy, 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 gummy bear. 놀라지, 완전히 달라진 all my dreams. cookie-랑 mix it up.
Even though the song drops off for this bridge here, it still feels like exactly how I imagined the song to go, like while I'm listening along to it, and it's no major surprises. And the full firm release right away. I'm gonna guess the instrumental is gonna stutter step here. Oh, and it ends major there. Ooh, nice. What a cool song. It's got the compositional complexities that, honestly, I expect from this team, to be honest. Because this is, one of the few non-Black Eyed Pilsing songs on this album. And knowing the team, like, the names in here, I can see exactly how this song ended up becoming this song because of the producers and the composition side of things, but it's been mixed and it's been arranged in a very STAYC manner. It's got the rich vocals, it's got all of the vocal harmonies, and it's got the very precise kind of rhythmic delivery on the flow of the rap and vocal sections as well. And it doesn't feel out of place. It's a very smooth song, but it's also got that anthemic quality to it that just feels boom. It's got the big heavy hits when it needs to have the big heavy hits, but it's also not afraid of bringing the energy down when it needs to as well. And apart from the instrumental having that stutter step in the second half of the chorus, everything else feels entirely predictable in where it goes directional wise. And again, that makes listening to it, for me at least, very easy. And I don't have to sit here and process what's happening in the song, so I can just relax and enjoy it. It isn't the kind of, Beauty Bomb, like really smooth element like Beauty Bomb was one track before, but it still has that easy to listen to aesthetic identity to it that I can't complain about, especially now that we are 2 minutes from being an hour into an album listen, and, it's 10 p.m. now. It's late in the evening. I have to start winding down a little bit. And yet, it's got enough energy to give me a kick, a little bit of an energetic kick, but chill enough to not be, not have like a caffeine injection type of energy kick. Nice. And I think really appropriate for this point in the album where we don't really want to ramp up the energy too much, because we have to start preparing for the end of the album soon. So, nice. Right, track number 12, Stay With Me. Lyrics by the members, so fan song coming up, very neat. Composition, El Capitan, Maria Marcus, Zenor, Nano, and Colin Vendors, with El Capitan and Zenor Vendors on arrangement. Also, very identifiable names in here. El Capitan, responsible for many a banger in the K-pop community, so let's check it out one time. Oh no. So you know what I said during the Fakin listing? How I said that if STAYC do a pop rock number, it has a very high chance of being thrown in B-side of the album? Oh boy. I love the reverb and the vocals, and I love that it's still a vocal prominent song, even with the band instruments. Oh, I'm such an open book. I'm such a basic bitch for a pop rock song.
You times forever 이 시간이 영원하게 빌어 yeah 까칠한
We're still gonna have the rap verse in verse 2 though. I'm not mad at it.
Seconds, minutes, hours No one like you 오직 너만 내게 sweet해 가끔씩 너 baby I'm sweet Just say it's human nature I'm breaking down 너조차도 날 외면할까 내가 만나면
I wish I had my guitar because I would be playing along to it. I feel like I've said that so many times this year, but I wish I had a guitar.
I cannot even you are stuck in my head 돌아보면 내가 너를 기다릴게 두려울 필요 없어 내 곁에 Stay with me till the end 날 안아주면 네가 내게 말해
D major, D minor,
How about you just come with me 가져 넌 내 전부야
Okay, so song's written in D major, and it's not the most complex chord sequence in the world either. God, I could play along to this. Love that melody switch. I love that we threw in that C in there. Nice. So it's maybe G then if we're going G major. I know I stopped talking about the song about halfway through to just airplay the electric guitar, but honestly, it's a sign that this song is extremely easy to understand for me as someone who also had a big guitar phase growing up. Like, I was primarily a violinist in my younger years, played from 4th grade all the way through 2nd year of undergrad and college. And kind of like 8th grade, first freshman year of high school in America's 9th grade, everywhere else in the world, essentially, I picked up guitar. Admittedly, it was just, playing chords and stuff, but having like a big 80s phase growing up when it comes to music, essentially, the genre of music I was most exposed to growing up as a kid was the 80s. Through my parents, especially my mom, who's a big kind of hard rock and metal enthusiast of that era, went to all the live shows and stuff. And I grew up around like 80s rock, 80s hair metal era, power ballad era, but also the pop side of 80s. That's where my love and appreciation of the rock genre and the synth pop genre come into play. It's that era of music very much still resonates with me. So to have a song like Stay With Me go in that pop rock direction is very much me. And I can't believe that the comment I made after Fakin actually came true. Like, I, hand on heart, genuinely did not know this song was like this. Did not know that STAYC were going to have both a really nice synth pop song and a really nice pop rock song. So I'm just winning today. I covered both of my favorite genres, and Stay With Me really has a nice energy to it. It's bright and it's inviting, but it also has like a thankful and hopeful feeling to it. It's like, admittedly, I don't understand Korean, so I don't know what they're saying exactly, but it feels like sonically like a thank you for sticking with us until now. We hope that you continue to stay with us moving forward. And I guess, Stay With Me kind of hits the nail on the head title-wise in that regard, so I'm not going to complain about that one bit, but I wish I had a guitar, because the chords are not very complicated, and there are some really cool little, like, musical details and stuff in the song, like, in terms of the musical chords they're using, that make playing this quite interesting, because it doesn't stick in the standard, like, same 4-chord formula that a lot of pop songs will fall under, but nice. And I hate how easy I am when it comes to this type of songs, because, well, this is very much later on the album, right? I had a very similar experience with aespa's studio-length album this year with, Armageddon and that era. Is my favorite song from this entire era was Live My Life, and that was the second to last song on the album. And I think that was like a 10 or 11 song album as well. That was also a pop rock banger. STAYC Stay With Me is the pop rock banger on her studio-length album, which comes in at track number 12 of 14.
What a good song, man. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Sorry, Fallen. As much as I love you and your synth poppiness, stay with me as to take the crown. I'm such a basic bitch, man. It's not even funny anymore. I'm so predictable. Um, anyways, it's over an hour. Hopefully you're all staying hydrated, staying comfortable, because we still have 2 more songs to go. My goodness. Track number 13, Flexin' on My Ex. Thankfully that's something I don't have to do because I've never had one. Um, non sequitur. Lyrics by Ilson and Sean Ree. Composition Black Eyed Pilsing and Flight was Dorado and Flight on arrangement. It feels like we haven't seen those two in a few songs now.
Baby, I won't get lost in you, even though I got love for you.
Acapella start.
너는 애쓰지 않아. 너랑 trying to make things right. 나를 위해 쓸 거야. 한 번뿐인 내 시간.
일찍 일어나, doing yoga, living up the life. And baby, I'm doing fine. There's no way you break my heart.
너 말만 하면 거짓말을 해. 나 더는 속아두지 않을래. 나를 위해 사는 내 인생. 너 말고 나는 나를
I don't know
찾을래.
what the word is for
지켜
it,
하루의
but
내 루틴 플랜대로 난 바삐. 움직여
it's got
최고의
that
내
playfulness
위에.
in the key that it's been written in. It doesn't take itself too seriously yet.
내 머릿속에 지우개.
Cool syncopation. You know what? Sonically, it makes sense. It genuinely does make sense. I'm thinking back to like other K-pop songs that have gone with this kind of, you know, giving the middle finger here, ex-significant other. You know, songs like Somi's XOXO come to mind, but it does kind of have this vibe sonically. I don't even know how to describe it using words, but it just makes sense. I don't know if I will ever get tired of Icy's vocals. She's got such a distinct, charming tone about her. Partial instrumental for verse 2. There's the full. And a bona fide outro to finish. Yeah, Flexing on My Ex is a really good vibe. It's a good time sonically. It does exactly what it needs to. I think stylistically it works perfectly. Yeah, there's an interesting parallel to like there aren't that many off the top of my head that I can name in terms of, you know, the kind of up yours to your ex kind of songs. But like immediately, I mentioned it earlier, but Joan Somi's XOXO very much kind of it checks out. And I didn't know that kind of sticking it to your ex was a subgenre of music, but I guess it is. We'll run with it, but the song's nice. It's actually an extremely well-balanced song. It's got a lot of kind of signature STAYC style touches in there. Whether it's where and how the vocals get brought in. That huge syncopation moment in the pre-chorus is really wild, because that's a tut. It's almost like it breaks down a 4-beat measure, like a standard 4/4 rhythm, into like I don't even know, but it's an odd it's an odd prime number that doesn't usually get used in pop music a lot. It's like 7 or something. I'll have to go back and listen to it later and figure that out, but I just find that so neat because it's so different, right? It's something that you're not used to hearing, so immediately your brain clocks onto that. It's like, ooh, hold on a second, let the song cook, and cook the song did. Possibly the X, because I think the X done messed up. If enough said. Anyways, one final song on this marathon of an album listen. Track number 14, Troublemaker. Lyrics by Sim Un-ji. Composition Sim Un-ji, Yi Hye Sol with Yi Hye Sol on arrangement. Don't know if I'm familiar with Sim Un-ji.
So, here we go.
No ballad. We didn't get a single ballad on this album. That's tremendous. We got some chill and groovier songs, but we're ending high energy. What? Whoa. Hello, brass section. Hello, strings. What? So we're ending on a party. Usually albums end on a ballad. We're going out with a bang. This pre-chorus on this album is my favorite part of the entire album. It's terrific. And in fact, this might actually take piece out of the album for me. My goodness. It just makes me want to get up and dance. It's so nice. It's so light, energetic. I hear you up there, Sheena. Oh, and end it on the big finale. Big final song with the big energetic release with the big finale. What a way to finish a marathon of an album. My goodness. It's rare to get, well, one, an album that's this long to begin with. I don't actually know what the playtime for this album is. You know what? I could probably find out. But you know, just the sheer number of songs we got on this album in K-pop is rare. You usually only get albums that are this long on like anthology albums, or you know, maybe the K-hip-hop side of things. You get some long mixtapes and studio-length albums. Not in the pop scene. And entire total playtime is 40 minutes from start to finish. And there aren't that many songs that are over 3 minutes, but in this day and age, you don't really get that many songs that are over 3 minutes to begin with. But the fact that this album is this long, this is a marathon of an album, and yet STAYC and High Up and the music team over at High Up decided to end it with bangers. Like, we are not talking like a really chill, cozy fan song where everyone wants to huddle up together and give everybody a hug, and then finish the album properly with a really just emotional, slow, sappy ballad. Nuh-uh. They went fan song. All right, crank up the energy. Flexing on my ex, crank up the sass, crank up the brightness. Troublemaker, crank up the party vibes. We are like, in terms of regular album listeners, at this point, we are now very well fed when it comes to music. At this point, I don't mind a ballad or two, and I am admittedly saying that because I love a ballad. But to end it at what is probably the peak energy level for me, like if I were standing on floor at a STAYC live show and they ended the concert with Troublemaker, I don't care how long I've been standing in place just vibing to the music, I would dance along. That's just the energy and the power that this song has. And to end a 14-track long album with a party song like this is a really ballsy move, but one that I think really pays off. Sonically, Troublemaker, there isn't really a song like Troublemaker on this album, right? 14 songs, you're covering a wide variety of sounds, and yet we managed to end on a unique sound that peaks the energy curve on this entire album, and it's just a good time. You're ending on a high note, both in energy and in emotion. It's kind of the perfect ender, but the counter to your ballad finishes that a lot of K-pop groups and just pop artists in general will do. Wow. I feel like I should give you all, if you've made it here, I should give you all a participation badge or like an achievement award, because we are an hour and 17 minutes into the recording. I still haven't done an outro yet, but genuinely, that's a very impressive album, all things considered. It's long, and there's a lot of kind of emotional roller coasters I go through. Not in a bad way, of course. It's just lots of different things to take in, lots of different sounds, lots of different songs, lots of different voices to take in. But overall, I can't really fault this album at all. And I have to give props where props due. High Up, going with a 14 song, I know I've harped on this so many times already, but a 14 song album is so much new music. And, well, let's see, STAYC dropped this on the 1st. Teen Fresh, I guess they did the Japanese stuff at the end of the year, but Teen Fresh was August, so they've been away for almost 11 months in terms of new Korean music. The fact that we got essentially 3 EPs worth of music in 11 months, that's a lot of music. Like, we're looking at 5 every, we're looking at an EP every season, essentially. That's really difficult to keep up. Like, not even the busiest of K-pop groups will drop a mini every season, essentially. And, STAYC, they've been busy, and it's been a long time, but they've been busy, and it's paid off because the music quality and the direction that they're going with, it feels like they have leveled up their sound in a way that compositionally is very exciting for me as a music fan, but we're starting to see different ways of highlighting the STAYC members now, because they aren't rookies anymore. They've been about for time now. Let's see, when was STAYC's debut? That was So Bad was November of 2020. They're going to be going into their 4th year. Yeah, they're going to be going into their 4th year of activities this year. 2021, 2022, 2023, 2023, 24. Yeah, so they're in their 4th year of activities. They are not a rookie group anymore. They've established their sound from pretty early on and have maintained the quality, that super high quality that they established from early on in their careers, and it still hasn't changed at all. In fact, their music is getting even more of a higher quality than it has been before. That's impressive considering they were already at such a high bar to begin with. Admittedly, there are some directional things that I would change if I had any input in it. I still think that one of STAYC's main musical charms is their vocal, and I don't want it muddled down with more auto-tune. I get that stylistically it works in some songs, and I like it in little increments, like little sprinkles of it. I don't want the entire vocal line to be auto-tuned, if that makes sense. And I don't know how many people like agree or disagree with me. It's not really like a big deal if you disagree or not. You're free, you're entitled to your own opinion, but just I want to feel the STAYC vocal magic, because that is what keeps me coming back to STAYC, is the vocal magic that they have. B-side of the album, though, in terms of the units, I'll probably say Fakin. All those Ice's Roses is very impressive. Nothing against Find. It's just personal, like style wise, I'm very much a Fakin fan. In terms of group B-sides, though, Stay With Me, that rock banger is always going to win with me. Troublemaker, though, is a sleeper pick for me. I reckon Troublemaker is going to get a lot of playtime from me. Overall, solid album indeed. But that is going to be it from me today. Thank you all for dealing with me. Thank you all for listening to The Waffle if you've made it this far. I'm trying to think if there's any other stuff. Oh yeah, there's probably some variety content from this era that I need to catch up on. I saw Jay had a Yumigen service. I think Yoon and someone else is on Jay Star Diary, which I'm gonna go watch in my free time. But I reckon this is gonna be a fun time. This is gonna be a fun time for Swifts and just avid enjoyers of STAYC music. So I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you all for listening along with me. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did. One last request from me today. Let us work together as a community to bring a little bit of extra happiness back into the world, whether it be checking with your friends and family, holding the door open for somebody, or even picking up a piece of trash off the street. Just one small act of kindness that may brighten up someone else's day-to-day. And know that wherever you are in the world, should you ever be going through a tough time in your life, for whatever reason it may be, even though I'm just some guy on the internet who waffles about music in his free time, know that I will always be a friend, ally, and a shoulder to lean on whenever you need me. So take care of yourselves. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, spread the love, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.